Now the Banger Network Climate Change Weather Report. Here's Nerd Eye McGee.
We've enjoyed relatively nice weather this past week. The temperatures are slightly above normal, which makes it very nice. Unlike the places that are being hit by Hurricane Matthew, which is good because I'm sick of the rain. We should have plenty of visibility to see the new moon, unless you are in the areas affected by Hurricane Matthew. This is Nerd Eye McGeek with your Banger Network Climate Change Weather Report.
And now over to Shady for your Banger Network Traffic Report.
Well, the damn construction workers are out in full force today. And the stupid idiots who have known about the construction for weeks now still can't figure out how to take some other route. Apparently driving a mile out of your way is too damn inconvenient for all the important welfare recipients who have nothing better to do than to drive down a road under construction. Yep, people are stupid. Back to you.
In local news, clown sightings around the area have prompted residents to ask the police to arrest anyone wearing a clown costume. After a rash of incidents that included an armed robbery and attempts to lure children into wooded areas, the locals are frightened. Maybe they just need to lock and load, pop a cap in the ass of a first clown, and I can guarantee you, no other clowns will come back. In a related story, a clown was reported sighted at the vice presidential debate, but after questioning the subject, they realized it was Tim Kaine, the vice presidential candidate for the Democrat Party. You can hear the Banger Network weather, traffic, and news at the top of every hour. Now, here's John. This episode of the John Lebang Show is brought to you by Banger for President 2016.
Yeah, when the two-party system leaves you feeling ill deep down, then you only have one option. Vote for none of the above, man, or else you'll get the runs.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message. The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Welcome, my friends, to another intriguing 60 minutes of
the John Lebang Show.
The sonic vibrations are ringing once again. Thank you for tuning in.
I'm one of the many affiliate stations that carry the show.
From Detroit to the United Kingdom, Iowa to Chicago, New York to Canton, Ohio, Las Vegas to Tampa to Amsterdam. Greetings and salutations. I'd like to remind everybody about our upcoming Banger Top 10 that's happening at the end of this month. But this is a special top 10. This is Halloween style. That means all the songs have to have some kind of Halloween theme, some kind of scary theme. They've got to be dark. They've got to be weird. They've got to be spooky, strange. No fluff songs. No love songs, no happy dance songs, no rap songs. We don't play rap here. So you can just keep your rap tunes. If you're listening and you're like, well, how do I get involved? It's real easy. Send me an MP3 of your song to our email address, jlebang@live.com. JLEBANG@live.com. They must be MP3s, and they must also come with a letter of consent to play the song on the broadcast. If you do not send me the letter of consent to go with the song, I can't play it. That's just the rules. And I'm not going to hunt down a bunch of people and bug them to get them to do what was required in the first place. We're not the government here. We don't hunt people down. Now, the deadline for submissions is October 27th. Anything after that, sorry, we won't accept it. We'll then go through all the songs, and we have a crackpot staff that's going to listen to all these tunes. Not only am I going to listen to them, but we're going to have Shady and Stone Logic listen to them. Wilbert's going to put his 2 cents in. Leroy, Nerd Eye. Now, the top 3 songs will get an interview right here on the John Lebang Show. So the 3 songs that finish in the top 10 there, your band will get an interview right here on the broadcast sometime in the future. Most likely, we're going to try to get them in right before Christmas. Now, the number 1 song is going to get 3 months of free commercials promoting their website, their new album, or their new single. So bands, get those tunes in. Remember to email your MP3s to jlebang@live.com. They must come with a letter of consent to play the song on the show. And then we'll get to ranking these songs. And the week of October 29th, the Halloween week, basically, the week of Halloween, the Banger Top 10 is going to come out. And that week, on all 11 affiliates that span 25 stations, your song is going to get major exposure. You're going to get exposure in the United Kingdom, in Amsterdam, Detroit, New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, Tampa, some of the biggest markets in the United States. And bands don't normally get that kind of exposure. So make sure you get your stuff in by October 27th. So with that out of the way, let's get to some other news. Some of you might remember a few episodes back I was speaking of how the news cycle has this repetitive nature to it. One event would happen, then a week later something else would happen, and it followed this cycle. Well, we're in this rare occasion now where there's a new event that gets put in the middle there, and it gives the news something else to talk about, and that's what it's done all week, is that the news has actually been able to focus on something besides the campaign or a terrorist attack or a cop shooting somebody or some civil unrest. And boy, all of a sudden now climate change is a big issue again. All because we haven't had a hurricane like this in a while. President Obama's out there. Let me be clear. Climate change is happening. And it gives them something else. And them, me meaning the news agencies, the mainstream media, get something else to focus on. Which gives them excitement, and they get to blow it out way out of proportion, and then everybody gets glued to the television because, oh wow, there's a hurricane gonna hit the East Coast and Florida and a whole bunch of other places, and boy, we've got to watch it on television because every TV station out there, well, they're out there covering it. They're telling everybody else to go run for cover, but you know, because you can win some prize, Mr. Reporter and Camera Guy. You guys go out there in the middle of a storm where we told everybody else to get the hell out of Dodge. You guys go hang out and see if you don't get hit by a 2x4 flying in at 120, 130 miles an hour and have it like hit you in a place that the sun don't shine. Don't worry, we have insurance. But it's amazing now that the news, the mainstream media, has something else to cover besides the normal presidential election. Cop shoots some guy. Random terrorist attack. Civil unrest. Now they get something else to talk about, so they make a big hyping deal about it. Except, I don't know how it affects like somebody in, let's say, Alaska. How does it affect anybody in California? But everybody's glued to the television. Might as well be. Something new on TV, I guess. Something new on TV. Keep you busy. You know, you can turn it on at maybe 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday or Saturday, and there's the hurricane news. And it gives you, and you can go, oh my gosh, how terrible is it? All those people that must be still there. They told everybody to get out. Well, how do I know that? Because, well, my nephew even fled right back up here to Michigan. He was hanging out down in Florida with all the hot chicks. Hot chicks or hurricane. Hurricane makes you get away. Said, the hell with, there ain't going to be any hot chicks on the beach this week. So my nephew said, you know what? I'm going to go to Michigan. He didn't like it here, but he likes it now because, you know what? There are no hurricanes here in Michigan. You might get the occasional tornado, severe thunderstorm. Rarely do you get a hurricane. In fact, I don't think there's ever been a hurricane in Michigan. I've heard we've had hurricane force winds. I remember a few times where the trees were pulling over and falling down and everything around us fell apart. In fact, we recently had one this summer. Knocked over my apple tree. Poor thing. No more apples for John. The hell with you. That's what Mother Nature said. But it's given the news media, the mainstream media, something else to talk about. And it's allowed people, the viewers, to actually watch something different for once. If you want to watch a hurricane show, why watch the real thing? Go and watch Twister or something. Something with a hurricane. I don't know. Twister was about a tornado, though. I don't even know. Was there a hurricane movie yet? Have we had a disaster movie from Hollywood that was a hurricane storm movie? That was like a made-up one and not some true event that happened in Louisiana or something. I'm not really sure. If you're in the chat room, please let me know. Was there a hurricane movie put out by Hollywood that I don't remember? I know there was Twister, but that's a tornado, not a hurricane movie. And don't tell me 2012 was a hurricane movie. That was the worldwide disaster movie. The earth was falling apart. That was God's wrath movie or something. I don't know, but it ain't a hurricane movie. So let me know in the chat room or the comment section if there is a Hollywood movie. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Not that I'm a scholar of disaster movies. I'm not a movie critic of those either. I watched some of them. Tommy Lee Jones in Volcano. I remember watching that one. But it amazes me that people are so interested in the fact that there's going to be a giant disaster somewhere. Oh, let's turn on the TV and watch something. They should announce when every earthquake is going to happen then. Man, the viewership would be out the roof, wouldn't there? There's going to be a 8.0 in Oklahoma. Everybody tune in at 6 o'clock so we can watch it. It should happen right around that time. We're going to start covering it around 4 p.m. the day before, just in case it happens to come earlier. Because who doesn't want to miss a good old disaster? Screw the lives there, all that property, whatever. You know what? We'll feel bad after, and then we'll send us some relief fund to make ourselves feel better for watching it on television. I can see why, people in Florida and all the coastal area right there, they would want to get the hell out of Dodge. I'm worried about my good friend because I haven't heard from him, Robert Bruce. I've sent him a few messages since all this stuff's been going on, and I've not heard from my buddy Robert Bruce. So I'm hoping he's okay. He's down there with his dad. Hopefully he's not out fishing for something when the hurricane rolls in or rolled in. But why does everybody gravitate to these events? And the news media loves it. They just eat it up because they get massive ratings from it. And hey, first we'll have, this is the best thing. See, this was a great weekend for the mainstream media. They had the hurricane that led them right into the weekend, and then they had the presidential debate Sunday night. The mainstream media was making tons of money that weekend. Just tons of money over the weekend. Hell, who cares? It's a good old time. Bring on another disaster. They just love it. Don't you notice how the mainstream media loves covering disasters? You get your local station.
Oh yeah, we have a accident on 75 and John R. there. 42 cars are crashed and 72 people are dead. Back to you, John.
And then that way you can post it on Facebook. Oh, I feel so terrible for everybody who was in that accident. Guess I'm in a weird mood tonight, aren't I? We're going to get to a few things, ladies and gentlemen. A few things tonight. We're going to talk later about Julian Assange's wiki leaking all over himself. And a few other things. We've got cool or uncool later on in the show. And don't forget, you bands who are listening right now, if you've got a spooky tune, a scary tune, a mystical song, a creepy song, a dark song, a hell song, or whatever song that happens to maybe kind of gel with the Halloween theme, then I want you to send it in to me at jlebang@live.com. Make sure it's an MP3. We got a banger top 10 coming up at the end of the month, right? That Halloween week. That whole week on all the banger stations out there. That whole week, you're going to hear the banger top 10 Halloween style. And we need your songs. And the top 3 songs are going to get an interview right here on the John Lebang Show. And how do we determine? Like we said earlier in the show, if you weren't listening, I'll rehash it. We're going to determine it by everybody here on the John Lebang Show. All the characters that are around here are going to sit around and talk about what song they like the best. And then we're going to pick the song or these songs for the top 10. With that being said, I think I should take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Please check out our sponsors. Support them because they support us. And if you want us to keep being here every single week, then we need your support. And you can do that by helping out our sponsors.
Don't touch that dial. The John Lebang Show will be right back.
You can bet on it, man.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Top 10 Artists 23 EXP releases their 11-song debut album, Welcome, featuring songs like Siren, This album is guaranteed to satisfy your hunger with songs like Food, Welcome by 23 EXP is available right now at CD Baby, Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, and wherever music is sold. And yes, this album includes the number 1 song, Stand Up. Welcome by 23 EXP. Get it today. The monster that's inside.
The following advertisement is paid for Banger for President 2016.
Hillary Clinton, she's ugly. And do you really want to hear this for the next 4 years?
What difference at this point does it make?
Or this? Or even this? I don't think so.
So do the right thing.
Vote for none of the above, man.
Or else you get this.
The world must understand that the United States will act decisively if necessary, including with military action.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's better than some Thai stick, man.
Yes, and I bet you're loving it.
Hey, pass that over.
If you beat up for your pride and it makes you want to hide in the closet. If you choose your favorite boys and they hate you for your choice and discard him. Yes, yes. Rainbow Pride. Rainbow Pride.
Okay, so what's the emergency?
It be like this. We lost
Him who?
that dude with the camels.
Yeah, that dude! What am I gonna do with you three? Hang on a second.
Dirty deeds, bacon.
Oh, hi. Listen, I have a little situation I need to take care of, so I'm gonna be a little late. What's the name of that club again?
with y'all down and around.
Oh, right. I remember that place. Oh, the memories.
So what time you coming?
Oh, I think about 20 minutes after seeing you.
I meant what time gonna be here.
Oh, silly me. My head's always in the gutter.
Breaking news. The recent fire at the Panda Garden restaurant on Telegraph Road is under investigation as authorities believe it to be work of an arsonist. As the number of civil disobedient cases continue to rise, state and local officials are scrambling to keep up. In other news, more bizarre and strange clowns have been sighted in and around City Hall, the Federal Building, and some conspiracy theories have gone as far as to say they are living in the White House. Police are advising citizens not to approach any of these clowns, and please do not shoot them. They ask that you report any suspicious activity by contacting law enforcement 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, except on Christmas, by dialing 911. And for our Latin listeners, Nueve Uno Uno.
Okay, now let's figure out what to do with you three.
We didn't mean it, boss.
Yeah, we didn't mean it.
Shut up. It'd be like mine's turn to talk. We get him back, boss.
Oh, I miss him already. Hi, this is the Captain Rainbow Hotline.
This is 13.
Oh, can you hang on a minute? Okay, boys. Execute Order 69 or something.
You got it, boss.
Okay, I'm back. You know, it's hard to find good help these days.
Don't worry about coming down tonight. The show's been canceled.
Oh, that's terrible. What happened?
Bass player electrified himself.
Oh, I hope he's all right. I was looking forward to meeting him.
He's fried.
Oh, that's a shame.
Anyways, power's still juicing his body. Better go figure out how to unhook him. See you later.
All dressed up and nothing to do. Hey, I know. Oh, hi. Remember me? You called me a few weeks ago. Oh, terrific. I know it's last minute and all, but my plans fell through for tonight. Would you like to hang out or something?
I wasn't my hair. Maybe some other time.
Oh, what an awful night. I feel so rejected. I need some chocolate.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Join the radio revolution right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man.
Yes, I would like some too. And apparently they finally caught that guy who was running around town here dressed up as the clown. He did a bank robbery, he robbed a gas station. I think there's a couple other things he was involved with, from my understanding. I wasn't really covering the whole clown thing. I thought it was just some weird thing people were doing, but apparently it caught on just like everything else, and that's because the media, you know, gave credence to it. So the first weird dude who wore some clown outfit in some place in America got some TV coverage, or a couple sightings after they got some TV coverage, and other people go, oh, look at that, that's a cool idea, let's go scare people. And then some other dude was like, man, that's a good idea, let's go rob some places. Who's gonna know? There's a bunch of clowns right now, and they're happening all over. How are they gonna tell who's who? You know? Although I don't know two clowns that actually look alike. But, you know, that's just me. They all look a little different. Some have big baggy pants, some have big feet, big butts, big hair. Wow, sounds like 7 Mile and John R, actually, but maybe they have something in common, I'm not sure. But the clown craze, if we're going to call it that, the clown craze, would have never got ever rolling if the news media wouldn't have talked about it. The national news media, that is. Maybe in a local story, I can see it happening. Sure, you know, ABC News in downtown Minneapolis, some weirdo wearing a clown outfit, looking like Ronald McDonald, went into Burger King and picked up a Whopper. I could see something like that, but then it started making national news. And then more copycats, because that's what happens. We had a few weird terrorist events that happened. There's some other people like, hey, wow, we don't need to be actually part of Al-Qaeda. We can just be in favor of what Al-Qaeda does, and we're going to do what this guy did in this town. That's a great idea. Same with the riots, the Ferguson thing, and then we had all over. Everybody's burning down their own town. And one common thread in all of that is the news media. And they hype that stuff because why? It gives them ratings. And everybody then gets glued to the TV and is all enthralled about it. And then they talk about it at work for about 2 days or 3 days or however long it remains in the news. Because once it's out of the news cycle, then everybody goes back to talking about whatever they were talking about before. And the news cycle, if nothing new happens, goes right back into the normal news cycle. Mainstream media is going to get a good 7 to 10 days of coverage out of the hurricane easily, maybe even a little bit more. Maybe 2 full weeks of news coverage. Because, there's going to be the whole recovery and all the poor people suffering. Then we're going to hear about FEMA going there and how terrible FEMA's is. And so, and then it'll get back. I mean, we still have the election coming up. Still a debate or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. There's been so many debates between the Republican debates and the Democrat debates and now the presidential debates and the vice presidential debates and the debates between everybody on Facebook and everybody on Twitter and blah, 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 blah. What is everybody going to talk about when there's no election anymore? The poor mainstream media is going to be dying to find something important to talk about. They might be able to talk about that war thing. It's being set up real nice for President Obama. They might be able to talk about some very strange pardons that he's going to do right as he's walking out. I love when a president does that, don't you? As they're leaving office, the last thing they do is pardon a bunch of freaking criminals. There you go. Mr. President, can you pardon me for all my Obamacare taxes and all my income taxes, please? I know I haven't committed any crime against the government or any federal crime, but, could you pardon me from taxes for the next, let's say, 50 years? I'd appreciate that. Trust me, I would change my entire view of you, President Obama, if you would do such a thing. But I don't think he's going to do such a thing. He'll probably pardon some criminal named Hillary or something. I don't know.
What difference at this point does it make?
But what's the news going to talk about after the presidential election? They're going to have a few months there to talk about the incoming regime and who they're appointing to what office. And then finally they'll get the inauguration. Woo, woo, woo. And, we'll have Christmas and New Year's in between all that. And then we'll have the first 100 days, and then things will settle back down. So I guess we still have maybe 6 or 7 months more of awesome news coverage. The mainstream media is just going to be enjoying their time, probably getting pretty good ratings, I would think, because there's going to be a lot going on. And what's President Obama going to do in all this time? I mean, don't kid yourself, ladies and gentlemen. President Obama has plenty of time to do some more stuff that you and I would not approve of.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Oh, yep. As I thought. Went long, folks. More on the flip side. We're going to talk about some Julian Assange wiki-leaking all over himself. Don't think about touching that dial.
That would be a mistake.
The John Lebang Show will be right back after this.
That's guaranteed, man. Like some good Thai stick.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Roll. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
Are you looking to bring the karaoke experience to your next event? Have you looked at the home karaoke systems and found them to be just toys? Well, Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke has professional equipment, professional sound, and delivers a professional karaoke experience. Don't settle for hundreds of songs when you can have tens of thousands. From oldies, Motown, and R&B to rock, metal, alternative, rap, and country, Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke has it all. Alien Stone Entertainment Karaoke is available for private parties as well as bars, clubs, and other special events. For booking, call 734-658-2746. That's 734-658-2746. Or visit us online at www.alienstoneentertainment.com. Alien Stone Entertainment. Out of this world karaoke, down to earth prices.
And allow me to do a little bit of self-promotion. If you want to know more about what I'm all about, then you can go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. You can listen to archives of the show, watch a little bit of Banger TV, and maybe just check out some of the tunes because I've been a musician my whole life. Now, if you want to contact the John Lebang Show, maybe you're a band that wants to send in a song for the Banger Top 10, then you can send us an email at jlebang@live.com. We also accept naked pictures of your girlfriend, maybe little puppy pictures, whatever you got, send us along, even your hate mail. We don't mind. Now, we're on YouTube, and if you like going to YouTube, then look us up on YouTube at LeBangerhead, or just type in the search engine, Banger Incorporated. Now, if you're on Twitter, we're on Twitter, and you can find us and follow us on Twitter at John Lebang. And when talking about us, please use the hashtag Banger. And finally, we're on Facebook, and I know you're on Mark Zuckerberg's Cash Cow. So come find our page at The John Lebang Show and like that page. This half hour is brought to you by FantasyPuckheads.com. The season is just about ready to get underway. Keep up with all of your fantasy hockey news at FantasyPuckheads.com.
Did you know you can exercise often but undo your efforts with unhealthy eating habits? I'm Coach Drea, and I would love to help you reach your health and fitness goals, all from the privacy of your own home. My next health and fitness challenge starts soon. You get accountability, motivation, one-on-one support from me, meal planning, fitness program, 30 days of Shakeology, and more. Contact me at CoachDrea.com. That's CoachDrea.com or Facebook.com/CoachDrea. What do you have to lose?
Captain, I'm picking up a strange anomaly.
Mr. Tukok, what is it? It appears to be a primitive form of communication that is traveling through space, Captain.
Captain, I traced the source of the transmission.
On screen. Damn it, Jim. That's Earth. Captain, a signal's coming in. On speaker. The John Lebang Show is on every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on Alien X Radio. Fascinating. I told you not to mess with the space-time continuum.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
Forces of darkness, the treasonable minds who collaborate must, can, and will be wiped from the face of the earth.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, Julian Assange's big October surprise was nothing, really. It was the 10th anniversary of WikiLeaks. Apparently, this big document dump that Julian Assange was supposed to release really soon got pushed back a little bit. It's going to be over the next 10 weeks, this document dump, and it's supposed to do with the election and supposed to do with the Google and a few other things. And And I'm like, it wasn't what the hype was, because if you remember, that they were going to have this big, giant document dump on Hillary Clinton, and it was supposed to put her in jail. And a couple days prior to the supposed release date that we were all eagerly waiting for, they came out and did some damage control and said, you know, it's really not going to be about the big dump. We're just going to talk about our 10th anniversary. And I'm thinking, okay, we watched anyways because we thought maybe that was their way. Some of us did. Maybe they were just putting a front up because some weird things have been happening in the Julian Assange camp. That maybe, you know, maybe they were protecting themselves in some ways. Because strange things happen when you're in the business of releasing government information that the governments and people in the governments and big time corporations, basically you're releasing secret documents. When you get involved in that sort of thing, you're going to get attention. And weird things are going to happen, like your lawyer jumping off and mysteriously committing suicide by jumping off into a train. Just letting a train kill him, run him over. That's what happens in this world. When you're in the business of exposing the corruption of governments and tyrants and all kinds of other people. And we expected that maybe, possibly, that they were just saying this to maybe take a little heat off them. Well, apparently not, because Julian Assange did his little press conference. It was like a 2-hour press conference thing where they had people talking about WikiLeaks and all the things that they've exposed over the past 10 years. And then Julian shows up via Skype, shows up, you know, last 20 minutes or so, give or take a few minutes. And nothing comes out. And there were a lot of people waiting for this exposure of documents. Now, they did warn us a few days earlier that probably nothing was going to happen. Nothing was really going to come out. And apparently nothing was going to come out. Maybe the sudden surprise of your lawyer dying, jumping into a train, committing suicide. I don't know about you folks, but I mean, if I'm going to commit suicide, jumping in front of a moving train is not the way I would do it. I mean, it's not like I've contemplated suicide very much, but as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if I had to kill myself, maybe, you know, for whatever reason, I felt I needed to end my life. If you really, you know, what ways would I do it? And I don't think jumping in front of a moving train would be the top of the list. You know, that just, maybe for some people it is. And apparently, if you believe the stories, that he committed suicide by jumping in front of a moving train, that's what happened to the lawyer of Julian Assange. Strange things happen, I guess. But when we're expecting, and we didn't get any, they said over the next 10 weeks. Well, we've only got about 4 weeks till the election. So if they're going to hit Hillary if they're going to drop something on Hillary that's going to affect the election, they better do it in the next 4 weeks. Why would you drop it after the election? WikiLeaks waits to release the documents until after the election. Hillary supposedly wins. Let's pretend Hillary wins. The week after the election, Assange and WikiLeaks releases all this damning evidence on Hillary. Then we have a sitting president, or not really, then we have the president-elect going to jail. Unless Obama, by some strange coincidence, pardons Hillary for all those crimes and allows her to become president. But if that was the case, then what would happen to the country? Would people just take it? That's a good question. Let me know in the chat room or the comment section if you think people would just take it if that scenario happened. What if the scenario was she wins, Assange dumps all these documents, it's damning against her, she has to be indicted, and Obama and the FBI and the Justice Department finally indict her on something. Then what happens? The president-elect goes to jail. That means Tim Kaine automatically gets put into the presidency and nobody voted on him? And he gets to be there 4 years? Or it could be that Julian Assange really doesn't have crap on Hillary. If Julian Assange was to release any information on Hillary after the election, and especially if she was elected president, whose side is he working on? We need to know before the election, not after it. But maybe he's scared. You know, one of my subscribers on YouTube brought this point up on a video I did earlier this week. Assange, 52-year-old lawyer, was pushed under a train a few weeks back. And Julian Assange, he said, and he continues, I'd be worried myself if I were him. In other words, if you haven't seen, I'm trying to lead up to this and I'm probably not doing a great job. But if you watch the video of Assange recently, the big anniversary where we thought it was going to be the document dump, if you watch it, you can see that Julian looks a little nervous. He's got a background that was placed in behind him. So they were, and I know this is circumstantial evidence, so they were not filming in a normal location in the embassy there. They were green screening it in, or worried about something. And maybe, as my viewer on YouTube pointed out, maybe it was not that his lawyer committed suicide, but he just accidentally got pushed into the train. Because again, if you think about ways of killing yourself, jumping in front of a train is not the way that most of us would put at the top of the list. That just doesn't seem like a fast way to go. Maybe if you get your cranium run over. But it's not going to be a good few minutes of being run over by a train. So there are nicer ways of doing it, in my humble opinion. So maybe he was, which would follow the MO of the potential first lady. Or she was already the first lady. Of the potential president, the nominee there. who is so powerful that she's able to get out of an email scandal. But we found out now that, Comey is tied to the Clinton Foundation. So no wonder they didn't bring any charges against her. Loretta Lynch mob over there is Obama's, right-hand woman, so to speak, over at the Justice Department there. So he's not going to, unless there's a greater plan to take her out after she's president. Things are very strange, and I don't know. I'm trying to calculate it all together, and I'm thinking, one, Julian Assange is either really scared, really, really scared right now, or he never had any documents on Hillary that were so damning. And let's hope that something mysteriously doesn't happen to Assange in the next 10 weeks. But if they drop a bombshell after the election on Hillary, what kind of repercussions is that going to send through the country? Will Obama pardon her when he leaves so she can be president? And if he does, is the country going to stand for that? Is the evidence that Julian Assange has and WikiLeaks has on Hillary really not that credible? Really not that damning? If you look at the video, he looks a little nervous. I'm just saying. And it doesn't look like a normal location for him. And that brings me to a point that another guy on YouTube, guy I watch all the time, Monograph, brought up, that everything that Julian Assange, all the public appearances that Julian Assange has had since late August, have not really covered the day-to-day events of things happening. They've been very generalized in the content. He has a theory that Julian is in custody, or no longer with us, but I think he believes more that Julian is in custody, and maybe, this is now me speaking, maybe that because he's in custody, they're controlling his public appearances, and they're controlling what he says, because he doesn't want to end up like his lawyer. How many people have mysteriously died who have been connected to the Clinton crime family? That's all I'm asking. So let me know what you guys think in the chat room or the comment section below. I want to know, do you think Julian Assange is afraid? Do you think he doesn't have credible evidence? If he does release this evidence after the election and it's damning to Hillary, will Obama pardon her? Or will some other scenario happen?
Don't touch that dial. The John Lebang Show will be right back.
You can bet on it, man.
Fans, do you need a video for your brand new song but don't have a lot of money? Then contact John Lebang. His reasonable rates, professional look, and fast turnarounds will help get that song off the ground. Contact him at jlebang.com. The following advertisement is paid for Banger for President 2016.
Donald Trump. He wants single-payer health care.
Everybody's got to be covered. This is an un-Republican thing for me to say, because a lot of times they say, no, the lower 25%, they can't afford private. But everybody's going to be taken care of much better than they're taken care of now.
He's even said he's a Democrat.
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat.
So why the hell is he running as a Republican?
Makes you scratch your head.
Oh, I'm confused, man. So when both parties are on the left,
then do the right thing.
Vote for none of the above, man. Because what difference does it make anyways? We're all screwed.
Banger 2016.
I'm John Lebang, and I approve this message.
If you want to call into the John Lebang Show, just dial 313-444-8919 or send us an email at jlebang@live.com. Or you could just join the chat room at the station you're listening to. Banger.
And welcome back, folks. You know, I don't want to act like WikiLeaks didn't put out anything this week. They did put out some stuff on Friday, I believe, that shows Hillary Clinton takes two different positions, one a public position and one in private that is ostensibly the real position that she holds and the one she's going to probably implement when and if she becomes president of the United States. She also had emails from her campaign chairman for the Clinton campaign, John Podesta, but these weren't the super damaging emails that we were led to believe. And there are people, and we're going to talk about it maybe in the second hour if we have time, because we haven't done a conspiracy theory in a while. So maybe we'll try to get to that in the second hour this week. But people have been talking that it wasn't really WikiLeaks who really pushed this information dump that they're going to be doing and that we thought was going to be done earlier in the week. It wasn't really WikiLeaks promoting it, but it was AJ himself, Alex Jones, InfoWars dude. And we've got people now on both sides of the issue there. But the thing is, we all thought, and it didn't seem like Julian or WikiLeaks was denying the fact that there was emails coming out. I mean, if it was Alex Jones who first put out the story that WikiLeaks had this damning evidence on Hillary, then you would think that WikiLeaks or Julian Assange or somebody would have come out during the week or during the period, because I think it was actually like a 3-week period that we were eagerly awaiting these emails, maybe even a little longer. It might have gone back all the way to August, actually. But regardless, they had all this time to deny those claims, to say, no. That's a false story. That's a false story. We don't have anything extremely damaging on Hillary Clinton. And so far, this little dump that they put out with the Podesta emails and showing that she switches positions, oh my God, like Hillary Clinton switches positions. That's a new one on me. We needed these emails. Again, this is like the second or third time in a row now that things have been released by WikiLeaks that I've been telling you for a long period of time. And all WikiLeaks does is confirm it. It's not some shocking revelation. But again, I'm not one to wait for WikiLeaks to drop something for me to go and investigate something and find out for my own purposes, my own education, the truth.
You scared.
Hey, John, look at the time. Yeah, I know, Shady. The time just flew by tonight.
Well, if you say so.
Well, have a seat.
Don't mind if I do.
So have you heard?
Did Hillary trip over her own cough again and die from criminal ugliness?
No, Shady, nothing like that.
Well, thanks for getting my hopes up, John.
My pleasure, Shady.
Well, what is it then?
You mean you haven't heard the thing with Donald Trump? He was on that hot mic and he was talking about women's private parts and wanting to pick up chicks even though he's married.
Is that in the news or something?
Yeah, it just came out.
And that's supposed to be a surprise? That's Donald Trump. You don't think he likes women?
Well, I think he likes women, Shady.
Well, when you like women as much as Donald does, he's going to say things. And he's a blunt guy. And if he says something that's blunt, why does it shock you?
Good point, Shady.
Guess people have nothing better to do.
You can say that again.
So can we get a move on? I want to head over to the laboratory. Stoner and the Geek are working on a new beer recipe. And I'm the taste tester.
Well, you're sure brave after the last batch.
Anything in the name of beer science, John.
All right, then. This hour's cool or uncool is
the Insane Clown Copies.
Now, you can send us your responses via email to jlebang@live.com, or you can go to the chat room and let us know there.
And if you want to call in, you can call us at 313-444-8919.
And our first call comes from Florida. where she's listening in on Raw Talk Radio Online. Cora, cool or uncool?
I'll tell you what's uncool, Sonny. Every damn clown-faced coolest Maximus buying up all the depends undergarments because they're scared that they might soil themselves over a little teeny-weeny hurricane. And no one thinks of its old people.
Okay, thanks for your call. You know, I don't think we should count that. What do you mean? She did say uncool and clowns. And I say she's a fool all around. Up next, we have AJ from Austin, Texas. Cool or uncool?
Hey, you just look like an absolute clown freak. I think you're a big joke. That's what I think you are.
Okay, thanks for your call. I think I'm going to count that as an uncool. Well, that or crazy. Back to the phones at Ditzy in Georgia. Cool or uncool?
It's October, John. You know what that means.
Yeah, it means it's Halloween.
No, John.
Is it free boob inflation month?
Well, I never.
Well, if you get your boob back, we can try.
You know, I used to like your show, John. Bye.
Thanks for your calls. That should help the ratings. How can insulting the listeners help the ratings, Shady? Because it was funny. Our next call comes from Dearborn, Michigan, where he's listening to us on alienxradio.com. Anonymous, you're up.
Hello? I love them clowns. They make me want to dance all around. Oh, me!
Well, I think you're mistaken. We're not talking about the Insane Clown Posse. The topic is insane clown copies.
Well, what's a copy?
Well, it's a reproduction of an original.
Oh, I see. Just like the old lady that fell on her face and she can't get up.
Are you talking about Hillary Clinton?
Yes, John.
You know, I think he's got a point there. Abu, is that you?
Yes, but I'm incognito.
You're incognito?
Yes, I'm wearing a clown outfit, John.
That might be a dangerous thing. So what's new with you?
Oh, I'm free, John.
What do you mean free?
I'm free as a bird. I love that song, by the way.
You mean Freebird?
Yes, that's the one. But you know what? I can't remember who sings that song.
Well, it's Leonard Skinner, you idiot.
You know, John, I think I want to become a singer.
A singer? That's kind of out of left field.
If I leave here tomorrow.
Oh, God, please don't tell me he's singing this song.
Would you still remember me?
Well, he did say he wanted to be a singer, Shady.
For I'm a-traveling on now.
Joan, just hang up on him and let's get out of here.
Because there's too many places I got to see.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another 60 minutes of sonic vibrations known as
The John Lebang Show. The fastest 60 minutes on radio.
Bands, don't forget, we got the Banger Top 10 coming up at the end of the month, so get us those creepy and spooky and Halloween-style songs. I'd like to thank all of our affiliate stations. Don't forget to go to my website, that's www.jlebang.com. Thank you all for listening, and until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John Lebang. I am signing off. How's it going?
Hey, man.
Is it beer tasting time?
Just about. Why don't you grab us a few glasses?
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, man, I need to pack a bowl for the celebration, man.
All right, it looks ready.
Same station.
Here you go.
Is it supposed to be green?
Oh, man, green is good, man.
All right, down the hatch.
How's it taste?
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Well, he didn't die. That's a good thing.
Can I have some more?
Hey, man, your eyes are getting red, man.
I'm feeling kind of funny, too.
You might want to go easy. This stuff is strong.
But I can handle it. What's the proof on this stuff?
Oh, it's only 7% alcohol. The rest is THC.
THC? Is that why I'm getting the munchies? It's pretty good. You should try some.
All right, here you go.
Oh, thanks, man.
Here's to naked women.
Right, cheers. I'm feeling kind of funny.
Yeah, man, this is better than just smoking weed, man.
What was I saying?
I don't remember.
You know, I'm kind of hungry.
I wonder if we have any tips.
Goodbye.
I think he's stoned, man.
You might have a point. Maybe it's too strong.